Joe Wheeler here along with Mike Williams for the call of this second match here at the Mark Curtis Memorial third annual event, as we've got Wild Child Andy Douglas taking on the mighty Yankee Mike, and this should be a great contest as well.
Oh, it's going to be a great contest, Joe, and we can't forget about Mr. Steinbrenner on the outside in the corner of the Yankee. It's going to be, he'll get himself interjected somehow.
Oh, yeah, there's no question about that, and I'm sure Douglas is keeping a half an eye on him there at ringside as Wild Child Andy Douglas opening up here on the mighty Yankee with an armbar, as Douglas is a little outsized here by Yankee, I'd say. Yankee's a little larger than he is, but as you and I both know, Wild Child Andy Douglas has got a lot of fight in him, and he's a double tough competitor here in Southern States Wrestling.
We have referee Billy Biggs in there doing this match, and I tell you what, Billy will keep an eye on him. He'll keep it going as straight as he can. It's hard to be a referee, Joe. I've been in that ring. You've been in that position, and I tell you what, you just can't see everything.
That's for sure. It's a very, very difficult job, no question about it, as the mighty Yankee now winding up on Wild Child Andy Douglas. Andy now with a top wrist lock here, fighting the mighty Yankee off and doing a mighty fine job of it thus far, as both men jockeying for position. Douglas here battling the bigger man, and Yankee was able to turn things around there into a hammerlock position on Andy Douglas, as Douglas now reverses into a hammerlock of his own, and the mighty Yankee seeks the refuge of the ropes there, Mike.
I tell you what, these two guys are paired up real good. Andy's a little smaller than the Yankee, like you brought out before, but I tell you what, it's not the size of the man, it's the fight in the man.
No question about that, Mike, as they've locked up collar and elbow once again. Andy Douglas pulls the mighty Yankee into a side headlock position as Andy wrenching down, applying lots of pressure. And the Yankee now with a handful of hair there, at least for the moment, as referee Billy Biggs checking in on the action here with you. And I tell you what, Andy Douglas, no question of his credentials, former one half of the SSW Tag Team Champions, and he's a double tough competitor, no question about it. Caught Yankee right there, shoulder block takedown, went right in for a cover. Good strategy there by Douglas, and once again going for that quick pin, as he's only been able to get 2 counts there, but he's right back at it a third time and got a third 2 count there. Andy Douglas, explosive competitor, no question about that here in Southern States Wrestling.
Oh, Douglas putting his shoulders to the Yankee there, and every time he did, he went right in for the pin. This kid is going straight up. There's nothing but the best going to happen for Andy Douglas. I tell you what, he's a top competitor. He's got a lot of speed to him, Joe.
No question, and that's part of what makes him such an exciting wrestler to watch, is his explosive speed and high-flying ability, as we've seen both of those well-documented talents that he has right here in Southern States Wrestling. And, you know, it's kind of auspicious. Yes, Steinbrenner's out there with the mighty Yankee, but noticeable by his absence at ringside is the Duke of New York. You got to wonder what he's up to.
Yeah, that's true, but knowing the Duke, he sent Mr. Steinbrenner out to do his dirty work so he can plan other things. I'll tell you what, he's a mastermind, and he's a user too, and he's used Mr. Steinbrenner a lot, Joe.
No question about that. Great point as well there, Mike, as Andy ducked under that, got caught the Yankee right there and tipped his sunset flip. Yankee made his way to the ropes. Referee Billy Biggs kicked those arms off. He's got a cover and only got a 2 count right there. Douglas right back up. Beautiful arm drag takeover there by Wild Child Andy Douglas as he's cinching in the pressure on the mighty Yankee, as I tell you what, Douglas was able to come out on the better end of that exchange.
I tell you what, Douglas's speed right there showed, Joe, because he went in deep for that arm drag. Now he's got that arm bar cinched up. Now he puts the twist to it. Andy Douglas working on the arm of the Yankee. I tell you what, this kid is phenomenal.
Good point. He certainly is. Great young talent brought to you right here by Southern States Wrestling, as the mighty Yankee now has got his man back in the corner, as he caught Andy with a short shot right there. Now takes him Irish whip hard into the buckle. Andy with a leapfrog right there and caught his man with an arm drag takeover once again. Andy Douglas outsmarted the Yankee on that one. I think Yankee was looking for a backdrop, and Douglas was able to leapfrog him.
Boy, I tell you what, Yankee's a very smart individual. He's a masked man here. We don't know a lot about him, but I tell you what, Joe, we've seen him numerous occasions. He's a very smart wrestler. He's been around the block a time or two, my friend.
No question about that. Mighty Yankee's got great credentials, as he's a double tough competitor, and I'm sure the Duke of New York, you know, he only brings in some of the best talent available, and he's brought in this mighty Yankee, and the Yankee now opening up on Douglas with a series of shots in the ropes now, as Douglas is in a bit of trouble at this point. Oh, but just as I say that, he catches his man, hard shoulder block, up and over, ducks the clothesline right there. Oh, but got caught right there by the Yankee, as the mighty Yankee now showing some of his resilience, coming back from a flurry of offense from Douglas.
The Yankee was ready that time. He caught Douglas with a clothesline, and I tell you what, don't never count the Yankee out, because he's always got something that he's got in his mind to do. And right now, Joe, he's shooting Douglas across into the ropes, but Douglas turns it around.
Just that fast. Oh, and just that fast once again. The mighty Yankee with a hard right hand to the top of the head of Andy Douglas stopped that momentum very quickly, as the Yankee now pulls Andy Douglas back up, and he's got him set up high. Vertical suplex there, and referee's in, got a 2, and almost got that 3. That was a 2.5, no doubt about it.
Well, I tell you what, Joe, this is a hard match to call, but just as soon as we say one man's got the advantage, it changes quickly. And it's just a tit-for-tat match, and these guys are really going at it tonight.
Back and forth, fast and furious action, no question about that, as things have kind of slowed down here, at least for the moment, as mighty Yankee using that second rope, trying to gain a bit of advantage into that reverse chin lock that he's got on Douglas at this point in time, as Yankee once again clamping down, using that second rope and applying all the pressure he can on that chin lock. And, this is a good strategy for him, once again trying to ground the young high-flying Andy Douglas.
Oh, I tell you, Joe, they're the mighty Yankees going to the ropes. He's got his feet across them, but referee Billy Biggs on the spot kicks the feet of the mighty Yankee off those ropes. Billy Biggs, he's been around a long time, and you can't fool that referee.
Good point there, as Yankee choking Andy Douglas right there. No doubt about what was happening there, as Yankee now pulls this man back up, scoops him up into a hard body slam there from the mighty Yankee. And Yankee just gave an out signal there. Apparently he feels like Douglas is about done. Mighty Yankee going up to the top rope apparently here, and he's making his way up. Douglas is up as well. He meets him with a couple of hard shots. Andy Douglas now has got the Yankee in a lot of trouble. Looks like he's coming down. Oh, my, with a hard body slam all the way from the top rope, Mike.
I tell you what, Joe, the Yankee waited too long to jump off the top rope on Andy Douglas, and Andy is really taking advantage here. He shoots the man across. There's a drop kick right into the front of the face. The Yankee's in trouble, Joe.
Andy Douglas with beautifully placed drop kick right there. Russian leg sweep to follow it up. Now Douglas looks like he's going to the top rope. He's going to show the mighty Yankee how to fly. Andy Douglas now, oh my, came down with that attempted leg drop from the second rope. It didn't pay off. What a neck breaker. What a vicious neck breaker there. This could do it as well. And sure enough, the mighty Yankee gets the pinfall over Andy Douglas. Hard-fought contest there. The mighty Yankee, he is your winner against Wild Child Andy Douglas. But what a great match it was.
Oh, it sure was, and that was a vicious neck breaker, and it paid off for the mighty Yankee and Steinbrenner.